in this lecture we will talk about functions and methods. Here we define simple structure that represent point. Then we have a function that calculates the distance between 2 points. Here we have some known expression how to calculate this distance. And then in the main we instantiated 2 points and call this function that calculates distance and just print the results like this. Okay. We know from the previous lecture when you have some expression and this is the last statement in the block, then we can omit this return and semicolon at the end. So I will delete this like this. Here we can see that some expression repeats. Basically what we want is to calculate the square of this expression. So another thing that Rust allows us to do is to define function inside of another function. So here I will define the square function that will just calculate the square of the input. And now we can use this function to simplify this expression. So it's here, and we can just delete the rest, and also on the right side this, and just delete the rest of this. Okay, and we will of course run to see that it works as before. And yeah, now I will show you how to add functions and methods to custom data types. For example, we will add functions and methods to this point structure here. And to do this, you must have this impl block that is defined like this. So just you have impl keyword, then you have the name of the custom data types, and then you have these curly braces. And now every function or method that you define inside these curly braces will be bind to this data type. So usually custom data types have the new method that is used to construct the object of this structure. So we will first implement this new function. So it goes like this. As I said, this function is the same as you write outside of this block, but now it will be just bind to this type. And this function just accepts x and y and just returns the object of this structure. And now we can use this function to construct the new objects of this structure. To call this new function, you need double colon operator and just the name of the function. Of course, this is the function call, so we need to change parentheses like this. And also we can use the arguments directly, so we'll delete this x and y and just leave the values like this. So this is now the new way how you can construct your objects. Of course, we can also bind this distance function to this point data type. You just need to copy this function inside this impl block like this. And now of course we need to change this function call. As we know, you just put point data type and then double column and then the name of your method like here. And we can do this. Now I will show you how you can add methods to this structure. And for example, we can convert this function distance to be method, not the function. So first we will just copy this, and I will just use a different name. So now that we can see both of them how they are implemented. So for the method, you always have the self as first argument, and this is the object on which is this method bind. And of course then we don't need this first point. And now you must use this self inside the code like this. Yeah, so now this distance2 is a method of this structure, and I can show you how you can call this new method. Yeah, to call it you need object, for example p1, and then we just call this method on this object, and of course we don't need, we just accept one argument like this. So yeah, so this is how you call method of some object, and we can run just to verify. Now I will show you a few things that you can do with functions. Here I paste just small snippet of code, and here we define a simple function that just increment the input variable by 2. And now you can define some local variable that will hold the function, same as for the other data types that we do. And Rust will infer what the type of this function is. But as for other variable, you can always be explicit about this if you like, and so you can say that this is the function that accept the integer and also return the integer like this. We can run this like this. Also, function can accept other function as arguments. So I will show you the next snippet of code. So like this. So this is just another function that also accept this input variable, but also accept the function as argument. And here you must be always explicit about the type, yeah, of this function. And you do just regularly this function call. So we can also run this just to verify. And yeah, here we just paste this variable and also function as argument. Of course, we didn't need to save this function inside the variable. We can paste it directly if we like. So it's the same thing. So like this. Next, we will talk about closures. Closure is anonymous function that can also capture the variable from the environment. Here I will define simple closure that also increment the input variable by 2, so that we can see the difference between closure and functions. So I will first delete this. As I said, closure is anonymous function, so to use it you must save it into some variable. And first here we define inside this parenthesis, we define the input arguments. So we will define the variable x, that is simple integer, and then you can define what the output is from this closure. It's also the integer, and then inside the curly braces is the body of this closure, and yeah, it's just the same as for the function. And as always, you must put the semicolon at the end when you define with a let keyword. And yeah, here is the simple closure. And now to use it, we use it basically the same as other functions. There is no difference here. So here, and we can print this. If Rust can infer these types, these input and output arguments, for example, we have here simple function call with integer, and Rust can infer this. So he allows us to omit specifying this input argument types and also the output arguments type. And in addition to this, for closures, if this closure only have just single statement as we have here, we can also omit writing the curly braces, and then this closure simplify to to this, yeah, and we can just run it to verify. Big advantage of Clojure over the functions is that it can also capture environment variables. So for example, we can define some variables here like this, and then this variable can be used inside the Clojure, just like this. And yeah, we can run to verify this. And if you try to do this with regular functions, you will get the error from the Rust, yeah, like this, yeah. So yeah, he recommend us to use Clojure instead of the function. And like this, yeah. And yeah, and that's all in this lecture. See you in next one. Bye.